My name is David Eden-Sangwell, and this is the BartenderHQ.com podcast.
Welcome to the BartenderHQ.com podcast. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at BartenderHQ. Here's your host, David Scooby Sangwell.
Okay, so you may have noticed we've been off for a couple of weeks, and it's been a lot going on. You may have noticed I've also gained a surname. I'm now David Eden-Sangwell. I got married over at Drayton Manor theme park here in the UK. Just been away for a couple of weeks. So we spent 4 nights in New York City and then another 4 nights in Las Vegas. So we've been partying. It's been our only holiday, obviously, without our little boy. But we've had a fantastic time. We had a big themed wedding. We had a How I Met Your Mother theme, so based on the TV show. If you've seen that, do check out some of our pictures, especially on Instagram. You'll find those by going to BartenderHQ Pics on Instagram. But here I am. This is Luna Nightclub. This is the nightclub that I'm now working at, managing the VIP bar here and taking on some responsibilities. We've done a bit of rejigging of some of the other bars and that sort of thing as well. So I just wanted to kind of show you where we are now and have a quick chat about what was going on in New York and Las Vegas. So stay tuned and we'll be having a good chat about some of that. So as you can see, it's a quite nicely stocked bar. We've got loads of stuff here. We've got a lot of new stuff coming as well. We've got a very limited cocktail menu at the moment, but it's something that we're going to be working on over the coming weeks and months. Everything's changed here, so we've got the whole back bar's been rejigged, the front bar's been rejigged, the speed rails have changed. We've changed the way that we're serving the juices and some of the syrups and that kind of thing, and just kind of giving it a little bit more of a premium kind of edge. Let's talk a little bit more. Yeah, we can talk about here whenever, because I'm going to be here for a long time, hopefully. But let's talk about the honeymoon. So we shipped out a couple of weeks ago on Friday night. We headed over to New York City, about an 8-hour flight from here in the UK, which meant we were travelling all day to get down to the airport in London, and then we had to take a long flight over to the US, landed somewhere around 7 p.m, I think, got to our hotel by about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and headed straight out to Employees Only in New York City. Now, this bar is amazing. It's completely unbranded on the outside, apart from one small logo. There's nothing out there that says Employees Only. It's just the Employees Only logo. And if you've heard of Employees Only in the past, you will also know about Steve Schneider. Absolutely incredible bartender to watch him behind the bar. Had an absolute whale of a time actually watching him bartend, and the party just revolved around this guy. So we arrived at the bar, and there's a queue out the door. It's a Friday night, and it must have been about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. They were quoting about an hour to get into the bar. We ended up getting in a little bit quicker than that, which is very nice. Greeted beautifully the lady that was the host. I'm so sorry I did not catch your name, but you were a wonderful host. Took our coats, everything worked like a cloakroom. She was basically hosting the whole evening. So rather than actually going up to a cloakroom, grabbing a ticket, she would literally take your coats as you came in, give you a ticket, and then you could pass it to any of the bar staff or any of the staff on the floor there, and they would take care of it. Now, the place is a lot smaller than I expected. It was around about 74, 76, I think was the capacity, according to the wall. Felt a lot busier than that. I think that's just because it was so crammed and everyone was having such a great time. Even the doorman on the outside was dancing with people. It was having an amazing time. It was a really, really great atmosphere in there. I had to have the Ready Fire Aim, which is one of Steve Schneider's signature drinks, with mezcal and some smoky flavours, some Hellfire bitters, I believe, in there as well. There is actually an article all about Steve and the way that he runs his bar. That is on BartenderHQ, so head over there. It's one of our superstar bartender posts that's on there, so do check that out. Then it's been a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. We took in a couple of Broadway shows, and we were all the way through Times Square. We went to a whole bunch of regular bars. We went to a bunch of really good bars. We checked out Fridays just off Times Square, the one that used to be actually right on Times Square that you see in the background of all these pictures. I think that one's gone now. and they're just off Times Square. Fridays in the States, it's not the same as it is in the UK. In the UK, it's very much cocktail oriented, especially at the bar. In the States, it seems to be very much more just a casual dining kind of place. It's not as focused on the bar over there, which is a little bit of a shame, I think, because the bar culture in the US of people actually sitting at the bar and enjoying it and chatting to the bartenders is much more developed. So I kind of wish that would happen a little bit more at Fridays over there. But if it works for them and they're doing well, then who cares? I mean, we also checked out Hard Rock Cafe. We checked out Ruby Tuesdays. Is that a big brand in the US? Please let me know in the comments, because it's not one that I'd really heard of before, although I kind of recognised the name a little bit. But then in terms of the really cool bars that we went to, the first one, which is one that was just on my bucket list, not because of the bar it is now, but because of the bar it used to be, was Baker Street on 63rd and 1st. And the reason I had to go there is the original TGI Fridays that you see in the movie Cocktail. Now, I don't know if it's just the exteriors that were shot for that and they did everything else in a studio, but when we went inside, the interior is very, very similar to what you see in the movie. Whether it's the same one, I don't know. It looked very much like the bar that you see Tom Cruise behind performing that hippie shake routine, that legendary routine. So we sat and we had a drink there, really, really good time. Then we shot over on the Skyway, on the kind of the cable car tram over to Roosevelt Island. Got the metro back from there, just hung out a bit, and we took in a couple of other really good bars. We went to Dead Rabbit, had a really, really great drink in there. It was a twist on the Dark and Stormy, absolutely superb, and as you'd expect. My wife Jo had a White Russian in there, but it was made with Galliano Ristretto, which I'd not even seen before in the wild. I'd seen it online, I think, once, but really, really good. Then we headed out from there. We headed around to PDT. We couldn't get in because we had not made a reservation, and this place is so busy. If you don't know about PDT, you have to access it through a hot dog place. I won't give you any more details because the PDT actually stands for Please Don't Tell, so I'm not going to tell you the exact details of it, which hot dog stand or what you need to do once you get inside there, but if you have a look online you will find it. But yeah, we could not get into PDT. It was absolutely rammed, and they were quoting a couple of hours to actually get in there, and there was nowhere else really local that we'd found that we wanted to hang out. So we headed round the corner to another bar that had actually been recommended by Steve Schneider on his podcast, which was the Suffolk Arms, and we had some beautiful drinks in there. There's going to be pictures to accompany this on the website, so please go and check those out. I'm going to do a big kind of post with a whole bunch of our holiday pics, probably break it up into New York and Las Vegas separately. But yeah, we had a really, really good time. We also went to, because we had a How I Met Your Mother theme at the wedding, we went to McGee's Pub, which is in New York City as well, and that is the pub that the creators of How I Met Your Mother based the McLaren's bar in the TV show on, which was really cool. It's not a basement bar like the one you see on the TV show. It's actually ground level and upstairs, I believe. But you can immediately, once you walk in, you can see the resemblance. There's a huge mural on one of the walls which exactly matches what's on the TV show. The bar looks very, very similar, and they've actually got, on Monday nights, we went there for dinner, and they have a How I Met Your Mother special menu to kind of commemorate the fact that they are linked forever with the show. So really, really good time there. So then, of course, we headed off to beautiful Las Vegas. So we'd enjoyed all of our craft cocktail side of thing in New York, and then we headed over to Vegas, more for the party atmosphere and the main bar that I really wanted to see, which was Harrah's Carnaval Court, and I will tell you now, it did not disappoint. I've posted one video already from Harrah's, and I believe it's had about 12,000 views already on Facebook, because you guys have been absolutely loving it, sharing the hell out of it, and well-deservedly. But we'll get to that. So we arrive in Las Vegas. We had a suite at the Treasure Island Hotel and Casino. Absolutely beautiful hotel. There was a little bit of a mess up with their housekeeping service, and they reported our room as being ready, and it wasn't. So we ended up getting switched into a new room. But they were really, really quick. They took very, very good care of us. And we headed out on our first night for a couple of drinks, and I think we ended up just having a little walk around. We went in and had a couple of drinks in a couple of the casinos, but nothing crazy on the first night. Second day, we'd got Penn and Teller tickets booked, and we ended up going to see Piff the Magic Dragon as well. If you've never heard of Piff the Magic Dragon, stop this video now. I will in fact put a link in the description for when he was on Penn and Teller Foolers. Such a hilarious magician from the UK. I'm proud to say that I've actually been on stage with him when I was doing my illusion show stuff, and it was the most hilarious comedy magic show I've ever seen, along with Michael Godot, who's a brilliant juggler and also a part of Penn's Sunday School podcast, which he creates. So that was really, really fun. We had a few drinks at the Flamingo. We popped round to Harrow's Carnaval Court, and we saw our first bartender there, who was not the main one that I really wanted to see. And if you know Harrow's Carnival Court, you already know who I'm talking about, and that's what we did the next morning. On Thursday morning, we went down there for the day shift, and we saw Tim Flippy Morris in action, and this guy is absolutely insane. He's the funniest guy in the world. I have to tell this quick story. He was an absolute legend to me when I competed at Roadhouse way back. I mean, we're talking like 2006 perhaps, 2005, 2006. He was over for one of the US Opens, and himself and Graham Warner ended up barbacking for me at the Roadhouse, so I was completely starstruck by my two barbacks. Tim has got the most incredible attitude behind the bar. He always smiles. There is not a second when there is not a smile on this guy's face, and he just brings everyone into his world, and it's a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere when he's working. His flair is impeccable. He's got his own, such a distinct style, which works beautifully, and he's an absolute pleasure to watch him work. So keep an eye out on BartenderHQ. I'm going to be trying to learn some more of his stuff. He did actually teach me a move at the time, and let me just grab a tin and I will show you exactly what he taught me back in 2005. And I have to say, the guy recognised me as I walked up to his bar 11 years later. So I've got a shaker here, and this is the quick little sequence that Tim showed me. If you watch his work, you'll see that he's the tin never stops moving, and this is actually the little sequence that he does, and it's really, really cool. It's three small, easy moves that most people can do or are quite easy to learn, but then it's just practicing it for hours and hours just to get it really, really smooth, so you can do it with your offhand or whatever. But essentially, you are doing a half spin with the tin on your palm, rolling it up, so you literally just flip it up here, and then a thumb roll back down. So you do those three moves together, and it looks really, really funky. And because the tin's shiny, it just flashes lights all over the place, and looks really, really impressive, even when it's actually really quite quick and easy to do. But it's all about having the confidence and being able to do it really, really quickly. So thank you, Tim Flippy Morris, for that one, and I hope you don't mind me sharing it with the audience here on BartenderHQ. So some other awesome bars that we went to: Fuel Bar, which is over kind of by the Venetian, that kind of side of things, and it's on the back of a little kind of arcade of shops. It's a really weird location for a bar in Las Vegas, but nonetheless, brilliant bartenders there. The only one that I actually know the name of, to my discredit, is Rodrigo Delpeche, the younger brother of Christian Delpeche, who we've featured on the website before. Rodrigo was working there. He works the day shifts as well, I think, up until about 8 p.m, 6 p.m, something like that. So definitely check that one out if you're in Vegas. And I wasn't expecting to find too much in the way of craft cocktails out in Vegas. I did ask for a few recommendations from some of the guys, like the guys over at A Bar Above and the guys over at Bartender Journey, and they provided me with some, and we never ended up managing to get there anyway. So Herbs and Rye, if you're in Vegas and you're looking for craft cocktails, is, I'm told, wonderful. We went to the Cosmopolitan, the Chandelier Bar. There is actually a three-layered bar, and we had some beautiful craft cocktails there. One called the Monkey's Uncle, which was like Nutella, monkey shoulder, banana, and that kind of thing, which sounds like it's going to be a really kind of cheesy disco cocktail, but it's served straight up in a coupe glass, really, really classy and beautifully balanced. And I had a drink, the Verbena, which was like a ginger margarita, but it's served with this flour on top, which you chew, and it has slight hallucinogenic effects, but numbs your mouth and makes everything go really tingly, and it's a really weird sensation, but it was really, really interesting. These bars that are really pushing the envelope, even in a place like Las Vegas, which is really more about the party, you can still find really, really good drinks over there. So don't just discount Las Vegas. If you're not a flair person and you're really more into the cocktail scene and the craft movement in general, please don't discount Las Vegas at all. There were some absolutely superb bartenders working out there, and at this Chandelier bar alone, they have a 3-level bar, and each level has its own mixology based menu, so each level's got a completely different menu to the next. So check that one out, guys, if you happen to be in Las Vegas, whether you're over there for the nightclub and bar show later in the year, or if you're over there on vacation, whatever. Don't miss out the Chandelier Bar at the Cosmopolitan. So I'm not going to bore you for too long, guys. Just to say, remember, the online flair competition is still running, so we've got 5 great bartenders that have submitted routines for this. Get over to our YouTube page, watch their videos, vote for them by hitting the like button or leaving a comment, or both, if you want to leave 2 votes for that bartender, and whoever wins is going to get that little bundle of Bacardi goodness and some other bits and bobs and one of our Bartender HQ t-shirts and that sort of thing. So check those out. And if you've not checked out the Bartender HQ t-shirts yet, these are great for flair training. They're quite cool looking anyway, so if people don't happen to read it, they're not going to know you're a bartender. If they happen to read it, then they're also going to know you're a bartender. There's an old-fashioned one, there's some flair ones, there's some, I think there's a daiquiri one, there's a few various different combinations of words on there that you will enjoy, I hope. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I don't want to keep you too long. I'm also here at Luna getting ready to open up for my first proper shift back behind the bar. I did a cocktail party here yesterday in the afternoon for a whole bunch of guys that came into the bar and made their own drinks and got to have a play around. We had a flair station set up so they could try that. We had a free pour station set up. But this is all the kind of stuff that you can add to your bar if you're not doing cocktail masterclasses yet for your customers and giving them the opportunity to learn a lot more about cocktails. You're missing out on a huge opportunity. But until next time, guys, shoot over, like the Facebook page. You'll see the Tim Flippy Morris video in full on there. I've also got some more that are going to be coming soon, but it's been going crazy over there. So get over there, like it, join us, and we will talk to you next time on the BartenderHQ.com podcast. My name's been David Eden-Sangwell, and I'll see you next time. If you like this video, click like. If you disliked it, click dislike. Let me know in the comments if there's something else you want me to talk about, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already so that you will get notified every time we release something new.